Sister, are you someone who struggles with regret? Like you look back at your life and you wish and wonder, why didn't I, ... Why didn't I marry that guy? Why did I marry that guy? Why didn't I say I love you when I had a chance? Why didn't I go abroad in college? Why didn't I travel more? Why didn't I write that book? Why didn't I? It's so common to have regret, and I've often thought it was the worst emotion possible because there's nothing you can do about it. But then I learned a trick. And the trick is that every regret is just a hidden desire. Every regret is a desire that you've had at some point in your life that is now locked away. And it actually then is the secret to your happiness. It's the secret to joy. It's the secret to fulfillment. Because when you can look at any regret and flip it and see that regret is unfulfilled desire, then you simply need to move forward with that desire. Now, I know that there are regrets that we could never move forward with, like saying I love you to someone who's passed on. But you can write them a letter. You can have a soul-to-soul conversation and connection with them. You can forgive yourself and instead say, well, I'm going to show my child or my niece or my nephew or my neighbors so much love. It's a way to flip it. For me, I had a regret that I didn't go abroad in college. I was basically married to my college boyfriend, who I did then later marry and later divorce, but I was so afraid in college that if I went abroad, we would break up. Well, that was so silly because we broke up anyway many years later. So I lived with that regret for so long. I just so badly wanted to live in Paris. It was like I wanted to live and get lost on those cobblestone streets. I wanted to sit at a cafe and talk French to somebody. I wanted to shop in the market and then go home and cook with the fresh butter and with the fresh fish. Like I wanted that, and I didn't give it to myself. And then many years later, I was 33 and had a nervous breakdown. I mean, I was going to my psychiatrist begging her for more medication. And she said to me, you need to fulfill your dreams. And so I made a list. What are all of my dreams? What are all the things that I regret that I never did? And I took that regret list and I flipped it. And the number one was not living in Paris. And so I went onto Craigslist at the time. I booked an apartment unseen and sent money transfer wire, which was probably really stupid looking back, but it worked out. I went to my boss and I said, I need a month off, unpaid mental health. And he said, go ahead, bye. And off I flew. And I had the best month. I wandered down the streets. I just kept checking in with my intuition. What do I want to do today? I ended up going on a date with a guy on a moped, zipping through Paris. We didn't speak the same language, but we spoke the same language. I ended up finding a French-English partner, and we would get together every week, and I would teach him English and he would teach me French over cheese and cappuccinos, and it was freaking fantastic. That's actually where I found so many of the little spots in Paris that I love to show women on my Paris retreat. And then I did it again with my husband. When I had been there for a month, I saw this little toddler walking around in overalls, curly hair, and I thought, oh, one day I'm going to live in France with a toddler. And so a couple of years ago, as COVID was lifting, my husband said, want to go live in Paris for a month? I was like, yes. And I announced a retreat and the women said yes. And then we went off for a month. And I have that picture of my toddler with his curly brown hair in his overalls, waddling on Rue Montorgueil, which is my favorite street in all of Paris. So I want you to think about what your regrets are and how can you flip them. And that's one of the biggest keys to happiness that there is. Love you so much. Bye for now. And if you want more, make sure that you are in my Woman Rising Facebook group. It's totally free. Every week I do a Woman Rising show, Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern. You are going to love being in this group. And of course, you can check out my retreats, my upcoming Paris retreat in September. You do not want to miss it because it's my 50th birthday and we are going to celebrate you and pretend it's your birthday too and celebrate life. It's going to be fantastic. And of course, all my other programs and retreats. Bye for now.